What's good, y'all? It's your bro Rob, and I'm back here today with the second episode review of Go Go Loser Rangers. Check out my one last week. I think the stuff that I predicted this week definitely came to be, but overall, this episode was kind of mid to me, so I'll get right into the review. So the episode starts off with this totally fabricated backstory mixed with truth and lies about how the Rangers came to gain the sword to defeat the monster army. It's obvious propaganda that they teach their Rangers in training, which obviously Fighter D is a part of now since he's infiltrated, disguised as a human, and is trying to take down the Rangers from the inside out. During his training that we see Fighter D going through, he runs back into the two people who recruited him and they go on to have a little lunch. But before that, we get a scene with the Rangers pressing the putties about Fighter D acting out of turn when the day was supposed to be saved and they were supposed to leave. He stayed and fought back. So they go up there and it's like, what's going on? Somebody didn't stick to the script, and they're apologizing. And it's basically good cop, bad cop here. Blue Rangers playing the bad cop, Red Rangers playing good cop. I predicted it last week when I said it in my review. That the Rangers are assholes, and they definitely proved it here. They have a god complex. They think that they're better than the putties, and they're going to keep holding them down. Now, the reason behind why they're treating them this way, it could be, in my mind, how bad the bosses were, and that's why they killed him. And the bosses kind of scarred the Rangers and made them become shallow and hollow and heartless. That could be a reason, but I'm still looking forward to more backstory on it, or why they were really trying to highlight this episode that the Rangers are the bad guys. And that scene with the Rangers pressing them was really probably the best scene of this entire episode. So back to the lunch that Fighter D was having with the people who recruited him. They get to talking, small talk, da. He finds out that they're going to deliver a message to the Red Ranger at the Red Ranger's base, and Fighter D turns into one of his recruiters, the male guy. I don't remember his name because he's ass and he's annoying and I don't like him. So he turns into him to try to go in and assassinate the Red Ranger. That plan goes to shit when he finds out that there are multiple Red Rangers just sitting in a freaking oven looking furnace, just waiting, just training, just talking around or something. I don't know what they were doing, but they were obviously on bad timing, and he walked into the wrong thing. He's terrible at being a human, so he kept fluffing it up over and over and over again, multiple times, almost getting caught. But for some reason, Suzukiri, the Yellow Ranger in training, kept covering for him for some reason. And I knew that she knew that he was a putty, but she was hiding it. But she defended him and got him up out of there before he got found out. Before they left, they ran into the Red Ranger, but the real Red Ranger, but his spiritual pressure was too high. So they just end up leaving. And then when they finally get outside, Yellow Ranger's talking to Fighter D. She gets his knife and then cuts his head off and then confronts him about being a putty. And in the weirdest circumstances, MacGuffin change of events, she ends up being evil herself and wanting to take down the Rangers. For what reason, I don't know. I saw this as very quick and easy fix to help him, learn his human side so he can infiltrate better and so he can know more about humans, so he can fool more people. So I understand why they did it. I just thought it was a little lazy in its execution, how quick it was happening. So then after that, speaking of quick, Fighter F, the guy in the first episode who was friends with Fighter D, who the fat one, he ended up dying this episode to the hands of the Red Ranger. He randomly just came down on the Red Ranger base and really wasn't with any smoke. He just was running, and the real Red Ranger pulled out his final attack, and he was out of there. He was done and dusted. That was very rushed. I don't think it was built too properly. I thought that they would give Fighter F more time. I thought he was going to be like Fighter D's second in command and taking them down, but I guess that's what the Yellow Ranger in training is going to be. So this episode was kind of on and off. It felt very rushed to me, especially with her joining his side and wanting to take down the Rangers. And then to Fighter F's death, that felt very premature. I really didn't feel any of it, if you understand what I'm saying, because we didn't get no build up to it. He just died to a special attack, and that was it. In my opinion, this episode was mid. It was very jumpy, except for when it got to the Rangers confronting the putties. They lingered on that and they really let that draw out and sink in. This was a moving episode, moving on to, the better ones, but I felt like they made some story decisions that were very quick and poorly executed that hurt this episode's like grade in my mind. So if I had to give this episode a grade, I'll give it a grade out of 5, 2.8 stars. Because the best scene in this episode was like what I said, the real Rangers showing up and being dickheads. So yeah, that's my review of this episode. Let me know if you felt differently. What do you think is going to happen next? I am still excited to tune in and see how this is all going to play out. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Lastly, this is my prediction that Yellow Ranger Trench is going to help him defeat the Dragon Keepers. They're going to take over, and then she's going to betray him because she wants to rule the world. And then he's going to have to work with probably the surviving Rangers, and they repair the relationship between the putties, and they have to come together to take whatever organization she has down. And that's my prediction for what is to come. So yeah, like I said again, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.